Joining us now, the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys in his fourth NFL season. Cowboys off to a 3-2 start, taking on the Jets this weekend, and it's Dak Prescott giving us a few minutes today. Dak, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Doing great. I don't know how much you've seen about this Richard Sherman Baker Mayfield thing from last night at the coin toss, but I want to ask you, has there ever been anything that's happened at the coin toss at midfield that has gotten you extra lathered up for a game?
No, I can't say it has. I don't think going back to high school I've ever experienced anything.
Well, maybe it'll happen this weekend when you go to MetLife Stadium to take on the Jets. And we talk all the time about guys staying focused 1 week at a time, no matter who the opponent is. What's your role as a team leader in making sure that your teammates dot the I's, cross the T's, do everything they're supposed to do this week, and not pay attention to the fact that the Jets have yet to win a game this year?
Yeah, I mean, especially coming off a week like we did, you want to flip the page, and you want to just put the next performance on tape. You want to get back out there and play again. So for us, it's important to focus on each and every day and focus on the process that it takes to get ready for a game. And we always say in our locker room, Coach Garrett always says it. I mean, those guys on the other side of the ball get paid to, and they're NFL players and NFL coaches. So we're not paying attention to those guys' records. We know that's a good team. We got to focus on what we've got to do to become a better team right now. And that's our main focus as we move forward and get ready for this matchup.
You mentioned Coach Garrett. He was a little feisty on Sunday, spiking the red flag, dropping the F-bomb, drawing a 15-yard penalty. That seems out of character for him.
I mean, Coach Garrett's a passionate guy. He's passionate about the game, and he's passionate about his team. And that's something that we all as players support. We're going to back our coach up anytime like that.
You've now got a former teammate in Kellen Moore, who is your offensive coordinator. What's that like, having a guy that you used to, put on the pads next to, who's now running the offense, and you're answering to him, basically?
I mean, we've got a great relationship. Kellen's somebody that I've always looked up to. When you look at the game from knowing the scheme standpoint, he's somewhat of a genius. And when Kellen was a teammate, we're drawing up plays, and we're trying to get trick plays into Coach Linehan. So now to see him make that step and become an offensive coordinator, it's awesome. I support him. He's doing a great job, but we have a great relationship, and it's a fun offense to be a part of.
Does he ever say to you, if I hadn't broken my leg back in 2016, you wouldn't have started as a rookie?
No, we don't bring that up. I mean, that was a bad injury for him, so no, we don't bring that one up.
What's the biggest difference now that he's running the offense compared to what it was last year?
Yeah, I mean, just dressing our offense up. What he does a great job of is still getting our players and our key players the ball where they're most comfortable with it, and getting them in space and allowing them to make plays. So in doing that, just dressing it up, motions here, changing up the splits, changing up the looks and the formations, and he just does a great job with that.
What letter grade would you give the entire team based on the first 5 weeks of the season?
I'm not into the grading standpoint from that. We just have to focus on moving forward right now. We have a really, really good team. We have a lot of confidence in this team. We have a lot of confidence in the players and what we can do. So we're just going to come in and hold each other accountable, put a great week of practice in the books, and move forward and worry about getting a win on Sunday. We just know our best ball's ahead of us.
What more, Dak, do you personally have to do to get the offense to where you think it needs to be?
Yeah, just focus on the details of the whole offense. Not just within my game, but just within the whole offense. Taking the little things and focus on those, because those little things come back and can beat you or hurt you when you're playing these good teams and when you're playing games that matter. So for me, it's just going to be about being the general of that and making sure that we're focusing on the small things and the details and the nuances of our offense. And I know the big plays and everything will come.
You referred to Kellen Moore earlier as a genius. Give me a specific example of something he's done or said that's caused you to say, wow, this guy's got it.
Yeah, I mean, he's just got good timing with his plays, the way he sees the defense, the way he studies the opponent's coordinator and the things that they're doing. There's been a few times, whether it's at practice or maybe just in a game, I'm thinking of a certain play because we've discussed it or whatever. We've discussed a certain situation, and boom, he calls it, and it leads to a touchdown. So there's a lot of examples, but it's just his timing and the way he sees the game.
When you are missing offensive linemen like Tyron Smith going into last week's game, Lyle Collins during the game, how does that affect your role and your job on a play-in and play-out basis?
Yeah, it really can't. And that's the tough part. That's the tough part about our job and tough part about football is you can't allow something like that bother you or get into your mind. But what allows our offense and allows me to have that trust is we've got some good guys that can play, and we've got some good guys that are playing in place of Tyron Smith and Lyle Collins. So if you go back and look at it, just knowing about trusting those guys, they're going to do whatever it takes to get the job done. Cam Flynn is a fighter. I trust him any day of the week on my backside. And we had a good young rookie come in on the right side, and Brandon Knight, who fought his tail off on the back end of it. So just focus on just making sure those guys are confident in themselves and knowing that, hey, I'm not worried about it. I know you're going to get the job done.
Jason Witten is back after 1 year in broadcasting. What's the biggest change you've noticed in him?
Nothing changed. Nothing changed at all. I mean, Jason Witten, a pros per one and off the field, and somebody I've always looked up to and watched everything that he's done. He sets the standard. So when Jason came back, it was great. And then, it was great for this team. In the locker room, on the field, and then outside of that, what he just means to guys and the leader he is. It was great for us.
Now, if I were to ask him that same question about you, how has Dak Prescott changed in the year that you were gone, Jason Witten? What do you think he would say?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Maybe just a little bit of maybe being more vocal as a leader. I don't know. I've always felt like I was vocal. I don't know. I've gotten better, I want to say, in every aspect of the game. I put a lot of time and focus in doing that. So I would hope he would say that, but we've got to ask him.
Well, one way you've changed, Dak, and this is changing all the time, you have more and more off-field partnerships, and today it's DirecTV. Now, I've got a DirecTV hookup down in my barn. I had the game in 4K last Thursday night. I had the game in 4K the Thursday night before. It is awesome. Tell us what you have going on with the DirecTV 4K on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, you just said it. So for the first time ever, select Thursday night football games are being broadcast on 4K HDR by DirecTV, including this week's game and then including as well on December 5th when we play the Bears. So what DirecTV doing to celebrate that is I've teamed up with them, and we're offering fans a chance to win an awesome 4K prize package, which includes a 4K TV and an assortment of my D4K apparel. And all fans have to do is go to d4kdaksweeps.com and choose which team they think will win each select Thursday night football game. And DirecTV will randomly choose a winner per select Thursday night football game for the rest of the season.
Speaking about the Cowboys high-profile team, contract situation, everybody's talking about it. How does it feel to be in a profession where your money is such a topic of public conversation and scrutiny?
Yeah, a lot of people ask me that. It's tough. Everybody has an opinion of it. So it's just something, it just goes in that same category as noise, something that I can't focus on. I know that I'm blessed to even be in this position and be even talking about these numbers. So for me, that's what it's about, and I'm just not letting somebody else's opinion dictate what I do.
I've heard guys like Stephen Jones suggest that there's actual value in being the Cowboys quarterback, and that value should be reflected in your contract. Do you ever stop and think, you know what, maybe it'd be better to be playing for a team that wasn't constantly in the spotlight, that wasn't constantly the focus of discussion and scrutiny? I could just go about my job, go about my business.
I'm so thankful to be the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Just the platform that it gives me. With all the things that may not seem pretty that come with it, there's so many more great things that go on top of that outweigh that. So for me, to be in this position, to be able to reach as many people as that I can and tell them my story, maybe inspire them, and then work with a lot of great sponsorships like DirecTV and play with the teammates that I do, nothing compares to that.
Jerry and Steven have talked from time to time about speaking directly to players to try to work out a contract. Des Bryant's got a great story about the time Jerry tried to do it with him. Has that happened? Have they tried to talk to you directly to get them to get you to see their side of it and get this done?
Contract talks, I trust my team to do that. I've got a great agent and a great team that will do a good job of negotiating that. So for me right now, it's about focusing on my team, focusing on New York Jets. I can't give any of that stuff focus right now. It'll just distract me from what really matters, and that's trying to get a win on Sunday.
All right, Dak. Well, hey, buddy, all the best as you continue forward in the season. We look forward to seeing you on Sunday Night Football coming up in a couple of weeks. I know you got to take them one at a time, but I'm looking forward to Eagles-Cowboys in Week 7. We look forward to seeing you on that and every game you play this year. Thanks for some of your time, and all the best down the road.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. Thank you for having me on.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.